Van Andel Arena is the site where the Grand Rapids Rise look to get their record back to the 500 mark and keep themselves squarely in the postseason mix. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. We are just about ready for first serve here between the Grand Rapids Rise and the Atlanta Vibe. The first serve for tonight's Rise meeting with the Vibe presented by Morning Bell. Open every day from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Breton Village, Bridge Street, and East Beltline. Brunch is always a good idea with Morning Bell. Want something lighter? Try the Garden Grain Bowl or avocado toast. They've got you covered. Atlanta in their black uniforms today. See those a little bit more often at home. The Rise going with their white jerseys for this contest as the crowd continues to fill in here. As now we get ready for first serve. Katie Olson is here as well, and KO. Grand Rapids, this has been a season of momentum, to put it lightly.
Yes, it really has. You've seen streaks of winning and streaks of losing. Right now they're on the winning streak, but so is the Vibe. So who's going to come out with tonight's win?
Starting lineup look like this for Grand Rapids. Carly Snyder, the all-star. Ali Bastianelli is in the middle. August Rasky is the setter. Paige Briggs-Romine in the mix as well. Does all the little things for the Grand Rapids Rise. Alyssa Jensen is the other middle. Naya Chimay is also in the starting lineup. She gets a look as the outside today. Elena Ogilvy in the starting lineup as well. For Atlanta, Merritt Beeson, Pia Zimmer, McKenna Bacchini, Leah Edmond, Marley Monserrat, and Corey Lewis. We're ready for volleyball. We hope you are. The first serve is up, and it's handled by Grand Rapids. Alyssa Jensen got it partially blocked. Marley Monserrat sets up the middle, and Grand Rapids able to keep it alive. They free ball it back in a sliding play. Gets Atlanta an opportunity. Leah Edmond swings and hammers it off Ogilvy, and it is down. Point Atlanta to start us off here on Thursday. It's 2 games in 3 days for this Grand Rapids Rise squad. So they will be busy here at Van Andel. Second serve up and on the way as it's into the net. And it's a point for the Rise. Both teams tied at 1. Our referees for tonight: Henry Chen is our scorer. Jeff Termolen helping him out. William Stanley, our second referee. And leading the pack is Jung Park, who will be our first referee today. A block out in front as Atlanta gets to control, trying to take the lead, and their shot too strong, out of bounds. Trying to go near side, and Merritt Beeson shot it long. KO, we did not see a lot of Merritt Beeson the last time these two teams played here.
We did not. When she was at home last time, she was injured. We're seeing the #1 draft pick come alive. She had a great game, hitting almost 500 off their win in Indy.
Naya Chimay with a swing from the far side as Rasky back sets. And Grand Rapids has 3 in a row, 3-1 GR. And to their credit, the Rise have had some success against Atlanta over the course of time, which is not easy. Atlanta comes in as the preseason #1. They sit at 8-8. Leah Edmond with a chance. It's controlled by Grand Rapids. Ogilvy wants Briggs-Romine, puts it in the middle, and down goes Morgan Hentz, one of the great liberos in all the league, to keep it alive. Grand Rapids on the other side. Briggs-Romine swings, and it is blocked. Merritt Beeson looked to have got a hand in there. McKenna Bacchini as well to make it 3-2. There's a lot of different names for this Atlanta team. Clearly, with the way that their season's gone, kind of like Grand Rapids, you have to imagine they've been looking for the right mix out on the floor. August Rasky sets it up for Snyder, puts it down, and Grand Rapids has a 2-point lead, 4-2. There's certainly both coaches, and Kathy George and Caleb Anworth, who are not afraid to mix things up. Alyssa Jensen serves. What a year that she's had as she's come on strong. Monserrat leaves it for Edmond. Big swing, knocks it down. Puts it to the floor, makes it 4-3. Grand Rapids' lead is 1. Back to Merritt Beeson, the #1 overall pick in the PVF draft. She goes to the line, fully healthy. Grand Rapids getting a look at her. Ogilvy saves it, tees it up for Bastianelli. Good one-arm diving play by Beeson to keep it alive. A block by Bastianelli, back to Atlanta. Another shot into the net from Leah Edmond. You won't see that very often. Makes it 5-3 Grand Rapids. You cannot count on her to really ever make a mistake.
No, and I wonder what Rise team is going to show up tonight. In the last 2 games, they've had over 18 blocks, so it'll be interesting to see if they can put it together for this match.
Just been kind of a ho-hum option. And now an ace. Grand Rapids with a swing. Naya Chimay, welcome back. gets an ace on her first serve here since coming back from the injury at Van Andel. First ace of the night goes to Grand Rapids. They lead at 6-3. And then she throws it into the net. She serves it a little bit too low, makes it 6-4. So the two teams trade points. Leah Edmond now with a serve as Atlanta works from left to right. Edmond powers it over, and she gets the ace. Snyder went down to try and dig it out and couldn't do it. This kind of goes to show what topspin can do for you. That was a sinker all the way to Snyder. 6-5, Grand Rapids' lead is 1, and now Edmond's serve goes into the net. So both teams get an ace followed by the next serve into the net. 7-5, Grand Rapids. Paige Briggs Romine, native of Ortonville, Michigan, sends it Atlanta Monserrat. And it gets over to Pia Timmer, who swings and gets it down. It was off the wickets of that Rise defense. And certainly they've made themselves known for here in the league. They are probably the most defensive-oriented team in the PVF. As Katie mentioned, 18 blocks. They tee it up for Chimay, not there. Atlanta forced to free ball it back. Rasky, back set, slide play. Bastianelli hammers it to the floor. Allie B makes it 8-6. Now it goes back to Bastianelli. I mean, she has formed just an absolutely vicious set of middles with Alyssa Jensen's emergence. A swing for Vicini, gets it to the floor in the middle of that Rise defense, makes it 8-7.
I love the setters forcing the middle slide on those plays. It's one of the hardest plays to defend defensively.
Marley Monserrat, her turn to serve. Runs up to it, puts an arm in. Grand Rapids back sets for Chimay, gets it. Off the arm of Beeson, up front, out of bounds it goes, point Grand Rapids. Interesting to see Nia Chimay getting the start today. Erica Pritchard's been dynamite for the Rise, but looks like she's going to be coming off the bench.
Yeah, there's something that Nia Chimay brings to the team, and you see how electric she plays.
Monserrat for Edmond, big swing, out of bounds. Leah Edmonds, couple of early mistakes from one of the best players in the PVF. 10-7 Grand Rapids. August Rasky serves into the net. And that margin for error is so small, getting those serves over the net. Grand Rapids has that tendency to be their own worst enemy when it comes to the serve and pass game. You can usually tell a lot of how these games are going to go based on how teams do in those simple areas. Mara Beeson serves. Grand Rapids has it. Rasky leaves it. It's Briggs Romine. Diving play. Monserrat lays out to keep it alive, and a free ball comes back. Briggs Romine. Rasky back sets for Snyder. It is down. Carly Snyder makes it 11-8.
Let's talk about that back row attack by Paige Briggs. She comes in so hot and just takes off the head of Marley Monserrat.
Just out of the reach there of Morgan Hentz. It's not easy. Now it looks as if Caleb Anworth is out on the floor checking on Monserrat. Perhaps when she laid out, maybe a little bit shaken up after that. Monserrat looks no worse for wear. Carly Snyder's back to the service line for Grand Rapids. Big swing handled there by Atlanta. Monserrat tees it up. It is blocked. Allie Bastianelli, Alyssa Jensen that time gets credit for the block. Back to Carly Snyder. And another serve into the net. Grand Rapids not doing themselves any favors despite holding a 3-point lead.
Seems like they're really going back and forth on the service line.
McKenna Vicini floats it over. Snyder for Rasky to the middle. Jensen saving play for Vicini in the middle. Tapped back over. Grand Rapids with a chance. Briggs Romine got it blocked. Beeson able to keep it just inside the line, and it's a point for the Vibe. They've got two straight. 12-10. GR's lead is 2. Long serve handled in the back corner there by Snyder. They put it with Jensen with a big, strong right arm. Finds the floor, makes it 13-10. Well, Alyssa Jensen, Garv, as she's known from her head coach, Kathy George, has been a huge weapon for them. Jensen serves. Pops it over. Monserrat leaves it for Edmond. Taps, kept alive on a block. Atlanta has another chance to the other side. Kept alive there by Grand Rapids. Briggs Romine tried to catch them napping, but no good. Back to Grand Rapids. It's Rasky for Chimay. Got it blocked. Leah Edmond in the middle with some help as well from Corey Lewis. Right now, the block party really sits with Atlanta. Not used to seeing the Rise coming up on the smaller end of the block party. Merritt Beeson sends it over. Rasky wants Briggs Romine. Kept alive on a deflection. Monserrat leaves it. Beeson gets it around the Rise. It's a point for the Vibe, and all of a sudden it's a 1-point set. 13-12 GR. And it's Merritt Beeson's turn once again. Atlanta had the second overall pick in the draft. They actually traded up one spot just so they could get Merritt Beeson. And Indy ended up leaving with a boatload of picks. Here's a send back as Rasky dives to keep it alive. Briggs Romine pumps it over, but too strong, out of bounds. Did Atlanta touch it? As it just missed the back line, and we will get a challenge from the Rise. So either we'll be tied at 13 or the Rise will be back up by 2. Question being, was there a block touch? Young Park, our first referee for this one today. We had actually got off to a pretty good rhythm and a pretty good flow for this first set. Back and forth. Now Grand Rapids trying to get themselves a point, and they got it. Didn't get a chance to see the replay, but it was confirmed that it was in fact the block touch, so Grand Rapids ends up getting themselves a 14-12 lead. Now Kaylee Nelson, Cameron Turner check in. Chimay and Rasky have a seat. So some reinforcements for Grand Rapids, possibly because they're right up against 16. Maybe a chance to get some rest for some of the vital cogs in this Rise side. Atlanta receives. Monserrat, slide play. Lewis kept alive there by Turner. Ogilvie leaves it for Nelson. Big swing. It's deflected out of bounds. Point Grand Rapids. Another block touch. Didn't need a review for it that time. 15-12. It's Cameron Turner's turn at the line. You know, on many other teams, I would imagine she would probably be getting a lot more opportunity because August Rasky is an all-star, but Turner has played really well in the chances she's been given. Monserrat to Edmond, leaves it inside the back line. Perfect spot from Leah Edmond, and it's 15-13. But Turner's been impressive.
She has. She comes out bringing such an energy on the court. Her ability to lead the team and have confidence in all her hitters, you can really feel that.
Leah Edmond moves it across. It's up against the net. Left for Briggs Romine. Diving play. Morgan Hentz keeps it going. Back it comes. A block. Atlanta has a chance once again. They set up the middle, and Corey Lewis does not miss. Puts it inside the near corner, and it's 15-14.
What a great ball by Corey Lewis. She hits it at such a high point that it's really hard to defend.
How about that play from Morgan Hentz laying out to keep that point alive? Serve over. Nelson gets it. Again, it's handled by Hentz, but it goes out of bounds. It was all Hentz could do to get that wicked shot from Kaylee Nelson. And nearly got it in bounds. It is the 16th point here in the first set. That brings us to a timeout. Rise of the first to 16. They lead at 16-14. You've got the Grand Rapids Rise right here on 96.1 The Game and on YouTube. Guys lead the Atlanta Vibe. Dan Hasty, Katie Olson. Want to know how important the preseason player of the year in the PVF is? Leah Edmond already has 5 points, and we've only had 14 points settled here in the first set.
Yeah, she's the heart and soul of Atlanta Vibe's team. You get behind her, when she's on fire, you can see her. She plays with such emotion that it's really easy to get behind that. And you're seeing it here now. They go to her in those go-to moments all the time.
It's a little bit more even spread for Grand Rapids. Naya Chimay has an early 3. Good to see her getting integrated back into the offense. Carly Snyder, Kaylee Nelson, and Alyssa Jensen, both with 2 apiece. Grand Rapids already has 3 blocks to its name. It had 18 in their last 2 matches. Serve comes over, quick setter dump, kept alive but not for long as Ogilvy couldn't keep it in bounds. Comes out of bounds, 16-15. Grand Rapids' lead is 1. They send Vicini and Taylor Head back into the contest. First time we've seen Taylor Head as Morgan Hentz comes down along with Corey Lewis. Taylor Head, the native of Winter Garden, Florida, former Florida State Seminole, puts it into the net. Never fun to be the serving sub that puts it into the net. 17-15, Grand Rapids gets a gift point. Now Lewis and Head both come out. Atlanta continuing to move some pieces around. Monserrat puts it up for Timmer. It is handled. Grand Rapids is ready for it. Briggs Romine puts it into the back row. Edmond is there. They give a chance to Beeson. Collected by Grand Rapids, who's able to recover. Carly Snyder shoots. It's saved by Edmond. To the other side, diving play by Bastianelli. Kept alive in towards the net. And sent back by Grand Rapids. Quick setter dump into the middle. Bastianelli keeps it going, and it's out of bounds. It was all Bastianelli could do just to keep it off the floor. And unfortunately, that landed just a little bit wide of the white line. 17-16, Grand Rapids by a point. Marley Monserrat to serve. Monserrat over Grand Rapids. Turner for Snyder. Taps it over. Atlanta is there. Hentz looking forward. Timmer to the back row. Briggs Romine was ready for it. Carly Snyder with a swing. Gets it off the outstretched fingertips of the Atlanta Vibe. Make it 18-16, and even if it didn't, it caught the back line as well. Thought it might have been a block touch, but again, Carly Snyder had it gauged perfectly. August Rasky's back. She's in to serve. Serve over. Grand Rapids on the defense. Kept alive by Rasky for a moment, and now Snyder puts it into the top of the net. And perhaps a net fault there by Grand Rapids as well, 18-17. And so far, this really does look like 2 teams sitting right next to one another in the standings. 1 point separates these 2 in the first set. Timmer to serve. Ogilvy, Rasky, Chimay. And it's saved by Timmer. Monserrat wants Edmond this time, and she finds the floor, tying us at 18. Leah Edmond. No surprise to see a strong start for Edmond. And they have really flowed their entire offense through the preseason player of the year. On the serve, Timmer has it mishandled by Grand Rapids, and it's an ace for the Vibe. Timeout, Grand Rapids down a point. They've had a lead as big as 4, but Atlanta has fought back here late in the first set. Back to decide set 1 when we come back. You've got Rise Radio presented by U of M Health West and on YouTube. Rapids trails at 19-18. We're in the first set here in Grand Rapids. Dan Hasty, Katie Olson, and KO. These two teams are right there in the standings, and so far set one, they're right there as well.
Yeah, you're really watching them go back and forth trading points. Something that does surprise me right now is the Vibe are leading the Rise in blocks, which has been so strong for the Rise in their recent matches.
Not going to see it very often. Can Grand Rapids dig deep with their home crowd behind them? Two teams that have turned their seasons around. Serve over. Rasky for Jensen. Got it blocked, kept alive. Rasky looking for Snyder this time. She's got her, and we're tied at 19. Carly Snyder, one of the best in the PVF. And now a real opportunity for the Rise as they get her to the service line. Swings and she puts it into the net. That's the second time that Snyder has had a net fault, and you're not going to see that all too often.
No, she's had more aces this season than I think missed serves, so it's not something normal for Snyder.
You can see her put her head in her hands. She knows that every point is magnified at a juncture like this. Rise down 20-19. And an ace. Atlanta. Aiko Jones gets it through. Maybe a little miscommunication between Ogilvy and Snyder, and we've seen that at a couple different junctures this year. Aiko Jones to serve once again. Kept alive by Snyder. They set it up for Jensen, who puts it down. Aiko Jones wasn't able to do much with that, makes it 21-20.
Atlanta is the second team leading scorers. So when they're back on the service line, you know that they're going to serve tough. Right now, the Rise need to hone in on being able to pass good balls so then they can set their middles like Jensen.
And here comes a very important serve and a serving sub for Grand Rapids. It's Valeria Leon, the 8-year pro. Pops it over, kind of a change up that time. Monserrat back sets, it's blocked but partially kept alive by Grand Rapids. Leon wants Chimay, swings, it is down, and we are tied. Valeria Leon comes off the bench and provides a lift to her squad. What do we have going on right now? Perhaps a little spot on the floor. As Atlanta is looking to get a little maintenance done on the near side, so Leon gets a chance to serve once again. We have not seen a whole lot of Valeria Leon over the course of this year, but she just gave her team a big point.
She was a starting libero last year for Fury, so taking a spot on the bench, coming in and making a strong serve is great.
Not easy when you haven't played yet. Coming off the bench cold. Atlanta looks for Timmer. Check that, it's Beeson. Swings and puts it inside the far corner. Grand Rapids didn't exactly think that that was still in, but it just grazes the back of the white line. Big point for Atlanta, makes it 22-21. Monserrat and Beeson come out. Mia Tuaninga, a serving sub for Atlanta, as these serves now get magnified late in set one. Tuaninga hits it long. 22 all. And tried to put it towards the back line and just put a little bit too much on it. Back to Grand Rapids it goes. It's the first to three. Nia Chimay jumps and sends it over. Edmond is there. Tuaninga leaves it for the middle. Big swing out of bounds. Point Grand Rapids. Corey Lewis misfires and the Rise go up a point, and they're one away from dimming the lights. Timeout, Atlanta. We can keep it right here as we are down the stretch here of the first set. But how about that lift? You see a couple of different faces come in and give this Rise team, and it always feels like these matches come down to just a couple of points at the very end, and it just comes down to whether or not you get those, but Valeria Leon certainly playing a big role in that.
The sub at this level is so much more important because you can't just sub in, sub out, sub in, sub out. Once you come in, you have to make a difference with your team. What does your team need at that point in time? And you saw Leon come in and serve a short serve to Edmond, which kind of got her off balance. She wasn't able to get back in transition, so that's what they were trying to do. Same thing when you're seeing Atlanta Vibe. Right now you have Mia Tuaninga in the back row. for Marley Matsure, who was in the front row. Now they're making a blocking sub to see if they can hold the rise right now.
Now blocking sub is Anna Dixon, who we saw quite a bit during the last time these two teams matched up here in Grand Rapids. It's back to Nia Chimay. We're back to live action. Grand Rapids needs a point, and her serve is too long. The 5th service error for Grand Rapids here in set number 1. 23 all. Whoever gets a 2-point lead wins. Leah Edmonds serves. Snyder is there. Rasky slide play. Bastianelli kept alive in the back row by Edmond. They tee it up for Timmer. She finds the floor. Little pop over and gets it through the rise defense. Set point here in the first. Timeout, Grand Rapids. And again, we always talk about it. Just comes down to a couple of points. Just a minute ago it was 23-22, but the Vibe have dug deep and now they have control.
How can you string together points at the end of the game? At the beginning of the game, you're kind of just going with the flow, you're fighting, but really you hone in once you get to 19. In practice, you play games starting at 19, finishing to 25. How can you finish this game? And right now, the Vibe have the best server on their back line. Leah Edmond is leading the league in aces right now, so I would trust no one more back there.
Not easy for Grand Rapids. Now down a point with their backs against the wall here in set number 1. 24-23, Atlanta by 1 in set 1. And if Grand Rapids is unable to take this set, they might look at what happened at the service line as a big reason why. Atlanta puts it on the line. And they've got Leah Edmond back once again. Runs into it. Over it comes. Briggs Romine for Rasky. Leaves it for Chimay. It is a point for Atlanta. Grand Rapids came too far. The Vibe take the win in set number 1. Back with set 2 on the other side of this timeout. Grand Rapids has its work cut out for them. Down 1-0. You've got the Grand Rapids Rise on YouTube, and 96 won the game, presented by U of M Health West.
Eric Beeson, the #1 overall pick, made the All-Star team. Corey Lewis currently leading the league in efficiency.
Good swing, Beeson. Corey Lewis enters this match with an emphasis. Back row, Beeson. Beeson again.
To Corey Lewis, one of 4 rookies to make the All-Star team.
Obviously, all of these girls are great volleyball players, and so for us to be rookies is a really cool experience.
NCAA women's volleyball has never been more electrifying. The action is non-stop. The energy is explosive. Experience the intensity live. Sign up for pre-sale news and more at ncaa.com/volleyball.
We got it next. That's how you finesse. We come for they next. Beautiful swing. Pulls straight down. What a rocket out of the back. Now they calling my phone, yeah, but I'm all in my zone. They not a threat. Tell them reset. She is absolutely white hot. And a nice block on the outside. Did it all on my own, yeah. When they brought it back home. What a final rally.
When I hear it coming up like that, I just know that things are gonna end bad. La 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 la. I'll just keep dropping it, like there's no stopping it. Then walk with it. La 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 la. I'll just keep dropping it, like there's no stopping it. Then walk with it. La 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 la.
Pro Volleyball Federation Season 2. Tickets available now.
NCAA women's volleyball has never been more electrifying. The action is non-stop. The energy is explosive. Experience the intensity live. Sign up for pre-sale news and more at ncaa.com/volleyball.
Volleyball getting ready for set number 2. It's 1-0 in favor of the Atlanta Vibe. Dan Hasty, Katie Olson, and KO. We've already seen the Vibe here once this year. Grand Rapids had a 3-set sweep in Atlanta, but so far it's been the road team that's been dominating this series.
And you saw that tonight. You're seeing the Vibe come up with that first set win.
Ali Bastianelli serves. Atlanta with a chance to get the first point. Partially blocked, back to the Vibe. Swung and kept alive from Bastianelli. Briggs Romine wants Snyder, and a diving play in the back by Pia Timmer. Leah Edmonds there, and they capitalize.
What a dig by Pia Timmer. One-handed, slaps it up, and it's almost a perfect ball.
It's one thing you got to know about playing the Atlanta Vibe is that the ball is never quite on the floor until that whistle blows. They have some unbelievable players who can keep the ball off the floor, and that's led by Morgan Hentz. Nearly an ace there as Grand Rapids is able to recover with a free ball. Atlanta attacks. It is blocked. Alyssa Jensen. The emergence continues for the former Spartan. Tie is the set 1, here in set 2. To August Rasky, who pounds it over with a left hand. Fight at the net. It's in the middle, and Corey Lewis with the hammer. 2-1, Vibe.
What a beautiful save by Marley Monterey, just able to one-handed get it to Corey Lewis.
Check this out. Merritt Beeson's turn. The #1 overall pick in the PVF draft. Former Nebraska Cornhusker, nearly an ace. Again, Grand Rapids doing all they can just to give themselves a chance. Alyssa Jensen in the middle. Atlanta is there. They give it to Edmond. Blocked for a moment, but Atlanta is there to recover again. Free ball comes over into the middle. Nearly lost it. Nia Chimay gets a crack at it. Not there. Setter dump. Kept alive, but not long enough. In the middle, Atlanta takes advantage, and they're up 3-1. Looked like it may have been Corey Lewis in the middle. Also Monterey. Doing some good things here early on. Back to Merritt Beeson. Over it comes. Ogilvy stretches out for it, and she can't do anything with it. It's out of bounds. An ace for Atlanta. Grand Rapids is having a really hard time on first contact right now.
It doesn't look like they're communicating too well back there. You're seeing a bunch of players just bail out.
For the first 5 for Atlanta here in set 2. Comes over. Snyder is there. Rasky sends it towards the net. Chimay swings and lands it. Grand Rapids needed that point in a big way. Makes it 4-2.
You're seeing Grand Rapids have success with moving that middle back player on the Vibe around, moving her left, moving her right.
Carly Snyder serves. They need some help from their best server. Slide play. Lewis got it blocked. It's right back to the Vibe. They want Leah Edmond. Snyder's there to keep it going. They give it to her. Taps it into the middle. Little congestion. Grand Rapids has a chance on the right side. It is blocked but kept alive there. Chimay went down for a moment. She recovers. Briggs Romine. Not there for her. They give it to Snyder, who free balls it towards the back corner. Long rally here. Leah Edmonds swings and shoots it out of bounds. Point Grand Rapids. Everything's flowing through Leah Edmond right now, and rightfully so. 7 for Leah Edmond already. Snyder serves. Beeson got it blocked. Paige Briggs Romine. PBR tastes so good here in the second set. Carly Snyder sends it over. Atlanta wants Edmond. Diving is Briggs Romine. Keeps it going. They tee it up for Snyder. Handled there by the Vibe. To the middle. Corey Lewis can't get it down. Ogilvy. Now it's Briggs Romine again. Atlanta's there for it. They get it to Timmer. Diving play by Rasky. Now Grand Rapids is forced to free ball it over. Hence, Monterey, Edmond kept alive, but it's out of bounds off August Rasky. Makes it 5-4. Atlanta goes up by 1, but credit the Rise for being able to get back in this second set before it ballooned out of control. Leah Edmond serves to the back line. It is in, an ace for Leah Edmond. She's had a whole bunch of those this year.
And coming back to the communication part of that, that should never happen on the Rise side, being able to follow that ball to the line.
Edmond, over it comes Ogilvy to Rasky. Sets it up for Jensen, who gets that point back in a hurry. Clocks it down at 6-5. Grand Rapids down a point.
There's a lot that you can do with a three-point pass, meaning a three-point pass is perfect and you're able to set anyone.
If Grand Rapids can get that look more often tonight, they're going to be in great shape. Alyssa Jensen's turn. The native of Holland, Michigan, puts it into the tape. And it's a point on another service error, which we saw a whole lot of for the Rise in set number 1.
All of the points that differentiated the Rise from the Vibe were all on the Rise personal errors that they can control.
Corey Lewis pops it through. Rasky for Snyder. Handled in the back by Leah Edmond. They look to Beeson. Keeps it going. Back to Grand Rapids. Rasky to Chimay. Diving play by Atlanta to keep it going. Fight at the net. Goes back to the Vibe. Monserrat kept alive by Grand Rapids. Rasky for Snyder. Big swing. It is long. Point Atlanta. Immediately looked to that Rise sideline to see if maybe they thought Atlanta got a block touch, but Snyder misfires it there. Serve from Atlanta into the net. Corey Lewis, a little bit too low, and it's 8-6. And both teams are dealing with that issue right now. Nia Chimay back to the line for Grand Rapids. Good to see her back. Floats it over. Monserrat on the slide play. It's handled by Grand Rapids. Briggs Romine tries to keep it going. They look to the other side. Pia Timmer got it blocked momentarily. Bastianelli gave it right back. Hence Timmer blocked. Allie B. The B stands for block. 8-7. The Rise are down 1. Chimay, once again, off the top of the net, fight at the tape. Grand Rapids keeps it alive with Chimay. Free ball comes over from Snyder. Atlanta looks for Timmer, who hammers it down. A fastball, Ogilvy can't get to it, and it's 9-7 Atlanta.
Timmer has been a really steady player for the Vibe. She holds her own on pass ring and serve receive and is able to put down balls like that.
Marley Monserrat to serve for the Vibe. Briggs Romine, Rasky, setter dump, but touched the net. And it's 10-7. Rasky, who began this season as one of the most efficient players in the league. That time just a little bit too close for comfort. Marley Monserrat. Serve over, just got it off the top of the net. Rasky for Chimay, it is blocked. Timmer and Vicini. 11-7, and Atlanta has their biggest lead of the night. Stays with Monserrat. Snyder goes down to get it. Rasky looking for Briggs Romine. She's got it. Yeah, every time you see Briggs Romine get a start, you look down and you just see the fact that she could just do everything. And her offense has really started to bloom over the course of the last couple of matches. Serve comes over. Monserrat for Beeson. Blocked, kept alive. Grand Rapids gets another crack at it. Rasky for Briggs Romine. Not the look they wanted. Hence leaves it. It is out of bounds as Ogilvy tried to lay out. I think she took a chair with her. It's 12-8. Atlanta's up 4. Coming right into your living room. Pia Timmer to serve for the Vibe. Grand Rapids with the chance. They set up the middle. Bastianelli diving play. Morgan Hens. They tap it over. Fight at the net. Goes back to the Vibe. quick deflection. Ogilvy dives to keep it going. Snyder's turn, back corner. Grand Rapids gets the point. That was 8-ball corner pocket from Carly Snyder. 12-9, Grand Rapids' deficit is 3. They trail 1-0. Bastianelli floats it over from the service line. Back set, Beeson blocked. Diving play in the back line, fight at the net, and it falls, point Grand Rapids. There was one too many chances at the net. And it's another point for Grand Rapids. They've got to find a way to get control here in the second set. Otherwise, Atlanta is going to be knocking on the door here just 2 sets in. Kathy George will have her team looking for answers. Hasn't made a whole lot of moves so far early on. But if they lose that second set, I'd imagine you might see a couple of new faces.
She's pretty good at making changes on the fly and matching up, figuring out what's working for the vibe, and then putting players out that match what's going to defeat them.
Bastianelli into the net. Service error for Grand Rapids. That has been the theme of the night for the Rise. Meanwhile, the Vibe have sort of tightened up. They had 4 service errors of their own in that first set. They only have 1 here in set 2. McKenna Vicini. Serve over, Snyder for Rasky. Back to Carly. Swings and pounds it. Gets it to the floor, and Carly Snyder trying to get herself in order. Makes it a 2-point set.
You watch Snyder really hit the seam of this ball, which causes the left back and middle back to collide.
Rasky over. Edmond had it. Corey Lewis gives it back to Grand Rapids. Rasky sets up Jensen in the middle. Diving play by Hentz. She is something else. On the chance, another block. Hentz nearly got to that one too. Out of bounds. Either Jensen or Chimay that time. Makes it a 1-point set. 13-12, the Rise trail by 1. Rasky again. Edmond handles it right at the net. Try to set up the middle, not there. Briggs Romine to Snyder. Comes right back to Grand Rapids. They want Snyder again, and they got her this time. Point, and we are tied at 13. Carly Snyder lowers the boom to even us up. Rasky again to Atlanta. Beeson swings and gets it. It was off a lunging Ogilvy, and Atlanta is able to retake the lead. And this has been a set that has seen Atlanta pull ahead. Grand Rapids have to play catch-up now 2 different times. Merritt Beeson serves it. It is on the line. Another ace for Atlanta. And it couldn't have been any closer. Just scraped the back of the white line. Now it's a 2-point Vibe lead. Beeson again. Grand Rapids is there. They want Snyder, but she wasn't in the right spot to receive it. Fight for it from the middle. Ogilvy has to go to the back corner to get it. Carly Snyder swings it through, and the Rise are down a point.
Carly Snyder's really putting the Rise team on her back. She's using different shots, putting it in the corner everywhere she needs to be. She adds her 8th kill of the night with that play.
8 points for Snyder, 6 for Nia Chimay. Snyder to the line. She had a couple of issues serving today. It's set up in the middle, and Jensen shoots it long. A chance in the middle on a free ball. And Grand Rapids unable to do anything with it. Atlanta is the first to 16 here in set 2. They lead at 16-14. When we come back, we'll find out if Grand Rapids can get control, try and even this match at 1 set apiece. Right here on Rise Radio on 96.1 The Game and on YouTube. Grand Rapids is down by 2. Dan Hasty, Katie Olson with you in the second set. It's 1-0 Atlanta. And KO, you were saying it's really going to come down to the Rise being able to play a little defense here in the second set.
Yeah, being disciplined on the block and defensively is going to help out the Rise tremendously. You're seeing tighter balls being set by the Vibe, but they're able to get massive swings on those because the Rise are not being as disciplined as they normally are on their defense in the front row.
Leah Edmond, the league leader in aces, to the service line. Over it comes, Snyder collects. Rasky looking for Chimay. Got it in a bad spot again. Chance for Atlanta. They pop it over, and it is a block touch on Grand Rapids, point 5.
What a smart play by Pia Timmer. She had nowhere else to go with that ball.
We called her name a couple of times today. She's done well. Serve comes over. Rasky looking for Briggs Romine, but it's there for Hentz. Atlanta gets it to Edmond, kept alive on a block. Goes back to the Rise. Rasky serves it up for Jensen. Big swing, and the Rise cut the deficit to 2.
I love that decision by Rasky. You're seeing the play come out of middle back and then going right back in the middle to Jensen to get that kill.
You can tell they're really on the same page on that play. Jensen serves. Atlanta's got it. Looking for Beeson. Diving play by Jensen keeps it going. Fight at the net. Briggs Romine just had to go down and free ball it. Atlanta, Timmer, not there. Fight at the net, and it is handled. Atlanta gets the point thanks to Marley Monserrat, and the Vibe are up by 3. Taylor Head is back in. McKenna Vicini as well. It'll be Head to serve. Taylor Head floats it over. Rasky sets it up for the middle, and Bastianelli, she pounds it. And Atlanta cannot get it back. 18-16, Grand Rapids is down by 2. And we get a couple of substitutions for the Rise. Cameron Turner comes in to serve. Kaylee Nelson comes in as well. Shanae Rasky takes a seat. The second time we've seen Nelson here in the first 2 sets. Turner gets it over. Edmond for Monserrat. Wants Timmer again. Blocked. Kaylee Nelson making her presence felt. Rise have cut it to 1. Back to Cameron Turner, who gets another chance at the line. Sends it to Edmond. Monserrat for Beeson. Gets it down. Merritt Beeson puts the Vibe up by 2. Boy, what a couple of names on that Atlanta side. You've got Edmond and Monserrat and Hentz, and now you add a #1 overall pick in Beeson. Serve over. Turner looks for Briggs Romine. It is blocked, and that's Merritt Beeson. 20-17. The Vibe go up by 3 in the late stages of set 2. Marley Monserrat again. A gotta have it point for Grand Rapids here. Snyder has it. Turner leaves it for Bastianelli. Comes right back to the Rise. Turner looking for Briggs Romine. Taps it. Atlanta is there thanks to Monserrat. Fight at the net. Timmer gets it off the Grand Rapids defense, and a point for the Vibe gets them back up by 4. Well, I guess if there's any consolation, KO, if we get a timeout for Grand Rapids, we'll keep it right here, is that the Rise have already erased 2 different 4-point deficits here in set 2.
Again, it just comes down to how many points can you put together? How disciplined can you be? Because right now the Vibe only need 4 points to win. You have to be disciplined on the defensive end, and you're seeing that right now with the block, with Timmer's doing an absolutely fantastic job of using the block and really going off the hands.
Looks like it's been a little bit of a communication lapse for Grand Rapids throughout the course of this match. How do you address that? How do you try to get them on the same page?
I mean, when I coach, I say that there's 3 things that you control: energy, communication, effort. And those are 3 things that have nothing to do with anyone but yourself. So going out there and being able to communicate, you at this point, you have to over communicate because you're in such a deficit in such a time crunch.
Grand Rapids and Atlanta sitting right there next to one another in the league standings. Teams 4 and 5, Atlanta and Grand Rapids respectively. So whoever wins this one takes control of that 4th and final postseason spot. We talked a lot about Morgan Hentz, the great libero. She actually played her college ball at Stanford, and the libero to follow Morgan Hentz is on the other side. That's Elena Ogilvy. Some strong liberos for the Cardinal the last decade. Monserrat pops it over, Snyder there for it. Turner back sets to Nelson. It is down. Kaylee Nelson. When I talk about efficient, she's done a lot with the time that she's been out on the floor. 21-18, Grand Rapids down by 3. Briggs Romine serves. Got it over Atlanta, looking for Timmer, kept alive. Turner to Briggs Romine to the back line, diving play. Atlanta keeps it going, another chance for Grand Rapids. Turner sets it up, but not there. Quick setter dump, Hentz slides to keep it alive. Other side, Beeson, handled by Grand Rapids. They leave it for Briggs Romine, who finds the floor. A hard-fought point for the Rise. And now they trail by 2. Briggs Romine navigates it over. A chance for Beeson. Blasts it off the arms of the Rise defense, and it's 22-19. Boy, with Marley Monserrat, she really puts her team in some good spots. Pia Timmer serves. Grand Rapids running out of time. Snyder for Turner, back to Carly Snyder. Popped a mile high. Nelson gets a chance. It's kept alive. What a play by Hentz. Back to Grand Rapids. Turner for Nelson. Little change-up ball. Gets it down, and Grand Rapids is deficit back to 2. Well, you just can't do anything with Morgan Hentz on the floor.
That might have been the only ball that she didn't play, but what makes her so good is the quality of her contacts. Yes, she's able to dive for all these balls, but she's able to get them at a high enough level for someone else to play.
Valeria Leone comes in for Grand Rapids. Leone actually played a pretty big role in a nice rally for Grand Rapids in set 1. They'll ask her to do it once again. Leone floats it over. Monserrat for Edmond. Finds it. Gets it inside the back line and off the arm of Paige Briggs Romine. 23-20. Atlanta is 1 point from set point. They already lead it 1-0. Aiko Jones to the line for Atlanta. As Ogilvy checks back in. Jensen, Turner, Nelson, Briggs Romine, and Snyder on the floor for Grand Rapids. Aiko Jones. Liner, Snyder is there. Turner, they set up the middle, and Jensen gets it blocked. Corey Lewis makes it 24-20. It's set point here in the second. Atlanta was able to sneak out a win in the first set. Now they're looking to close out 2 straight. Turner for Snyder. And Atlanta keeps it alive, but not long enough. Out of bounds it goes. Point Grand Rapids. They're just so good when it comes to digs, receiving, everything that comes along with it. And in that way, these two teams kind of reflective of one another in the sense that they're so defensively inclined. Rasky serves. Over it comes, Monserrat, back sets. Beeson keeps it alive, fight at the net. It is a point for Atlanta. Grand Rapids might have to challenge this play. Rasky right now talking it over with Young Park, our first referee. If the point stands, Atlanta wins set 2 and takes a 2-0 lead. But the Rise will challenge this.
So what they're challenging is that Leah Edmond touched the ball and then it hit the antenna before it hit Nia Shimei on the other side.
And if that's the case, Grand Rapids is still alive. Granted, they're down by 2, but they give themselves a puncher's chance here in the second set.
The system's so great because you're able to really zoom in and catch that. The play of the game happens so fast that even being the up official and seeing it right there, you don't see everything.
We have still yet to see a replay on this. Grand Rapids been put in a tough spot here. It kind of looks in some ways like the last time that these two teams met here in Grand Rapids, because Atlanta dominated that one as well.
They did, and I would really love for the Rise to come out with some more fight and energy. I feel like it's a little slow on their side, and they're trying to play to Atlanta's side, but they've been doing so good on their own playing Rise volleyball. I'd like to see that really come alive.
It's taken a long time to look at this. Maybe perhaps it just goes to show how close it was with that ball up against the antenna. Leah Edmond trying to figure it out. They have to send it back to Frisco, Texas to see exactly what the league sees and what everybody sees on this side. But August Raske, Leah Edmond right now talking things over next to our first referee. And Grand Rapids wins the challenge. Edmond put it off the antenna, and Grand Rapids is still alive in the second set. Now we're finally getting a look here to see where Edmond put it.
Yep, so you see Edmond's hands touch that ball that then goes out of bounds. I think she was arguing that Nia Shimei touched the net as well.
Atlanta still has a chance to win it here, but not yet. It is blocked. Jensen and Snyder. And a timeout for Atlanta. Grand Rapids is still alive. 24-23. Grand Rapids will need this next point to push them into an opportunity to take set 2. But you got to hand it to Grand Rapids. They get that big win on the challenge. So break that challenge down for us again, for those who are a little unfamiliar with what happened at the net.
So you saw the ball go really tight, basically in the middle of the plane of the net, and Leah Edmond did touch that ball with her left hand, and it went out of bounds coming off of that. I thought it hit the antenna. It did not, in fact, hit the antenna, but what the up ref saw initially was that Nia Shimei also touched it, which means she would be the second person to touch it, therefore out of bounds on the Rise. She, in fact, did not touch it, so then Leah Edmond touched it out of bounds.
It's funny how these replays tend to find something new and interesting on these plays. That time, a great example.
And I mean, if you watch any college volleyball, the quality of that challenge system is not so great. Have you ever seen a 1995 film? That's what it looks like.
There's some great video games back in the mid-90s. I don't know if I'd want it dictating the pace of play at this level. August Raske serves. Grand Rapids needs this point. No other options. Leah Edmond swings, and she hits it long. We're tied at 24. They teed it up for the best in the league, and she shot it too far. Grand Rapids with a chance to make it set point here if they can get it. Leah Edmond again kept alive on a partial block. Raske looks for Snyder, swings, Hentz keeps it alive. Chance at the net for Edmond, taps it over, Raske goes down to get it. Ogilvy wants Snyder, she gets it through into the corner pocket. Grand Rapids was down by 4, and they've scored 5 in a row with set point hanging in the balance. And if the Rise are able to complete this comeback, KO, this might be their most impressive ever.
Yeah, and now you're wondering, what are the Vibe going to do? They need a point. They've been going to Leah Edmond. It's not working. So, are we going to go back to Corey Lewis in the middle?
They continue to lean on Leah Edmond with these critical points. It is a timeout for Atlanta. We're keeping it right here. We wouldn't dare go anywhere. with a 25-24 Grand Rapids lead. Can't help but think back to the change in dynamic that Grand Rapids winning that challenge had. And if you're listening along or if you are watching this on YouTube, trust us when we tell you that our minds are just as blown as yours. They have dimmed the lights here in Grand Rapids. It's 25-24. August Raske has a chance to give the Rise one of their best comeback wins in franchise history. A look to Timmer, blocked, diving play by Edmond keeps it going. Chance at the net, Timmer, it's handled there by Grand Rapids. Raske, Snyder goes down to get a little miscommunication. Can Atlanta take advantage? No. Grand Rapids gives it to Snyder. It is blocked. Atlanta ties us at 25, and Katie, it just kind of looked like Grand Rapids was out of sorts there with set point.
Don't love to see the miscommunication on that free ball. If any point in time you need to over-communicate right now.
Mia Tuaninga to serve for Atlanta. They're standing here in Grand Rapids. Snyder collects. Raske for Carly. Kept alive by Hentz. Edmond. Timmer pops it over. Briggs Romine to her side to get it. They want Chimay. They've got Chimay. Point Grand Rapids. Naya Chimay, 26-25. A thriller here in set two. And Carly Snyder, the Rise leader in aces, to the service line for GR. Over it comes. Tuaninga leaves it for a slide play. Grand Rapids is there. Raske for Briggs Romine. Back it goes to Atlanta. Tuaninga for Edmond. Taps it over. Kept alive by Jensen. Ogilvy. Snyder free balls it, and Atlanta has a chance to tie it. Tuaninga gets it. It is blocked for a moment, but not down. To the back corner. Snyder. Raske wants Jensen. Diving play hence. Atlanta has a chance. Kept alive by GR. Raske wants Briggs Romine. She's got it down! The incredible comeback in set two is complete. (27-25). Can you believe that? The gutsiest of comebacks for the Grand Rapids Rise. We're all tied at 1. Katie, we've watched a lot of volleyball together, and I don't think we've ever seen it where we've actually seen a team come back from a 4-point deficit down 24-20. Carly Snyder was a big reason why. She joins us here. That was one of the best comebacks we've ever seen.
Yeah, that was awesome. Sorry, I'm breathing a little heavy here.
I bet you are.
For the radio, that was really cool. Everyone just played their part in the important moments. August made some really difficult serves. That's a lot of pressure on her. So everyone just handled it beautifully and did the right thing in the right moment. Really nice to know. And
to see 11 kills out of you in that first 2 sets, you know, they kind of got you going in that second set. What was able to get you in a rhythm there?
Yeah, I think we just have a really strong offensive line. So Naya's a force to be reckoned with. Garv is a force to be reckoned with. They're so good that it opens up some plays. And so just trying to do work for them. They do a good job holding the block and finding some space.
You know, it's about winning sets, but it's also even more about how you win these sets. The way you just got that one, what kind of effect can that have on a team?
Oh, that's contagious. Also, you know, when you're on the other side of that, it's a lot of head scratching. So I'm just happy to be on the winning side of that comeback. Certainly exciting.
Yeah, if you want to break a team's back, erase a 4-point deficit at the end of set point in the second. Carly Snyder, congratulations. Go get him in set 3.
Thanks, guys.
It's Carly Snyder as the Rise fight back from a 4-point deficit in set number 2. That might go down as the biggest come-from-behind victory in Grand Rapids Rise history. It was looking kind of bleak there for a minute, Katie Olson, and all of a sudden you look up and we're all tied at 1.
I mean, what a way to finish the game, getting a kill on Morgan Hentz, of all people. That is just fantastic by the Rise. It's great. That's motivation that it can be done. We can fight back, and we do have faith in our team.
We saw the first set as Atlanta was able to take it 25-23. Grand Rapids rallies for a 27-25 second set. Let's look at it from the other side, Katie, because, you know, there's so many times where, you know, you see your side hold a big lead and unable to keep it. Was there anything in particular you noticed that Atlanta was not able to do down the stretch in that second set?
You know, I love the serve and pass game, and they were executing very highly. At the end of the game, they were not missing the passes. They were getting three-point passes. So at that point, I would like to see Marley Monterey have mixed it up a little bit. Everyone knows you're going to go to Leah Edmond. You went to Leah Edmond 3 times. She's not getting a kill. Now you're going to go back to Merritt Beeson, who is kind of having like an up and down night. She's getting blocked a lot at the beginning, then she got a couple kills, and now we're back on that block. She's got to finish high. I would like to see Monterey get the middles involved. When you have Corey Lewis, who touches well over 10 feet, and for those of you out there that watch basketball, the basketball hoop is at 10 feet for men's basketball, and this girl, her head is almost at 10 feet.
It's unbelievable to see what Grand Rapids was able to do, because to your point, yeah, they went to Leah Edmond. It usually is a pretty good business plan, but in this instance, I don't think Atlanta lost it. I think just Grand Rapids came out and got it.
They really, really honed in on their blocking and their defensive moves, and you know what all started that was the double sub, and you don't see that too often because you can only do it one time. You got to be really strategic as a coach of when you're gonna, if you're gonna use that double sub, when you're gonna use it. Do you use it when you're at 16 or do you wait until when you're at 23? They used it at 16 and that completely flipped it. You saw Kaylee Nelson come in immediately and get a block, and that is something that speaks so highly to who she is as a player. You watch her sit on the bench. She's been watching set 1, set 2. What can you do to make a difference? She goes in there and she does it.
27-25, your final in set 2. We're all square at 1 set apiece. We're at intermission. We've got set 3 on the other side of this timeout. Grand Rapids fighting their way back into this match against the Atlanta Vibe right here on 96.1 The Game and on YouTube.
Merritt Beeson, the #1 overall pick, made the All-Star team. Corey Lewis currently leading the league in efficiency.
Good swing, Beeson. Corey Lewis enters this match with an emphasis. Back row, Beeson. Beeson again.
To Corey Lewis, one of 4 rookies to make the All-Star team.
Obviously, all of these girls are great volleyball players, and so for us to be rookies is a really cool experience.
NCAA women's volleyball has never been more electrifying. The action is non-stop. The energy is explosive. Experience the intensity live. Sign up for pre-sale news and more at ncaa.com/volleyball.
It's been the greatest joy being able to be a part of this league, so any part that I can to build the game, help grow the game, it's a joy to be a part of.
I never saw something like this growing up, so it's really neat that we get to put this on, that the fans turned out and just show how much they love this sport.
I mean, it's huge. It's everything that we've all worked for so long, continuing to uplift the game and have something for little girls to aspire to be and do. Pro volleyball is the thing right now, and this crowd showed us exactly that, so I'm so excited for the future.
We got it next. That's how you finesse. We come for they next. Beautiful swing. Balls marked straight down. What a rocket out of the back. Now they calling my phone, yeah, but I'm all in my zone. They not good. Tell them reset. She is absolutely white hot. And a nice block on the outside. Did it all on my own, yeah. When they brought it back home. What a final rally.
From club or high school courts to championship arenas, Spalding has been the trusted partner of volleyball players for generations. Our team of dedicated professionals isn't just about selling equipment, we're about supporting your journey. Spalding offers a comprehensive range of high-performance systems, nets, and accessories meticulously crafted for every skill level, budget, and playing style. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, Spalding's knowledgeable staff will guide you, equip you, and cheer you on every step of the way.
Why should you get tickets to see the Atlanta Vibe?
There's no whining to the refs like a little crybaby.
There's no falling down and acting like you have a life-threatening injury. Everyone knows you're faking, dude.
There's Grand Rapids and Atlanta, when it looked like the Atlanta Vibe had set number 2 squarely in their command, in their control. But Grand Rapids erases a 4-point deficit to take set 2. Here's a look at the numbers. Carly Snyder, she ends up leading all Rise players with 11 points. 8 for Nia Chimay, 6 for Alyssa Jensen, 5 apiece for Paige Briggs-Romine and Kaylee Nelson, who, by the way, hit 800 so far throughout the course of the first 2 sets. She has been a real lift off the bench for the Rise. For Atlanta, 10 points for Leah Edmond. That's actually not leading her side. Merritt Beeson has that number, 11 for Merritt Beeson. She did a lot of her work in set number 2. 5 for Corey Lewis. Pia Timmer has 6. But one of the things that really stands out, KO, is the fact that as a team, Atlanta is hitting only 12%. It's kind of amazing if you look at it just from that perspective that they even have a set win under their belt.
Yeah, so when you're looking at stats and you're reading that, you go back as a coaching staff and say, what's going on? Is my setter not putting our attackers in the best possible spot that they can? Because I do not see Atlanta making bad serve receive plays or defensive digs, but right now you're seeing their hitting efficiency very low. Now, I will say the Rise came out with only 1 block in set 1 and came out with 6 in set 2, so that probably made a little bit of a change there.
That's more like it. Grand Rapids has built their entire identity this year off of the block, off of defensive-minded play, and they certainly needed a whole lot of that. It was looking awfully bleak. You ever remember, does a comeback come to your mind during your days at Grand Valley that kind of rivals what we just saw?
Yeah, I would like to say against Ferris, our great rivals. We were down 24-22. They put me into serve, and we won.
And obviously, now we know why. And you see what Grand Rapids was able to do. And you even mentioned how hard it is to erase being down by just a couple of points, but being down by 4 and having to win by 2. I mean, it is just incredible to see Grand Rapids doing what they did in that second set. And now it's off to set number 3. We are tied 1-1. Remember the last time these two teams met, it was Grand Rapids who won the first set, and then Atlanta took the next 3 consecutively. It's going to be a little different of a storyline here tonight. Atlanta gets the serve. 6 on the floor for Grand Rapids looks like this. Jensen Ogilvie, Paige Briggs-Romine, Carly Snyder, and Nia Chimay. Pia Timmer's turn. We're back underway in set 3. Snyder to Rasky. Wants Chimay. It is blocked. Vicini in the middle. 1-0 Atlanta.
When you're running those back row attacks, she went right for the top of that net. You need to reach higher and really angle it to avoid that middle blocker.
Pia Timmer again. Over for Snyder. Rasky. Back sets for Jensen. It was really the only option they had. Atlanta was ready for it. Leah Edmond, big swing, and it is down. Leah Edmond gets it off the arm of an outstretched Rise defender, and it makes it 2-0.
Edmond is so successful because she hits the ball so high and keeps it up there so she's able to take the top of the blocker's hands.
Atlanta looking for 3 straight points to begin this third set. Jensen hits and hence lays it out. Free ball comes back to Grand Rapids. Ogilvie, setter dump. Rasky takes command. Elena Ogilvie was doing a ton of that early in this year, and she gets the Rise on the board here in set 3. Rasky over for Edmond. Monserrat, back sets. Beeson, diving play. Ogilvie keeps it alive. Chimay, not there. Edmond has the free ball it back. Rasky for Jensen to the back row. Kept alive by Timmer. Monserrat to Edmond. Finds it. Gets it just off the outstretched arm of Alyssa Jensen. 3-1 Atlanta.
Put your hands together.
What a comeback to keep Grand Rapids' hopes alive and tie us up at 1. And now Atlanta's got 3 of the first 4 in the third set. Set into the net. Serve that time. McKenna Vicini puts it into the tape. And it puts Carly Snyder to the line for Grand Rapids. Team leader in aces, hits it long. Well, we've seen some uncharacteristic mistakes from the service line for Carly Snyder.
Yeah, that one she just did not get the top spin that she wanted, so it soared out of bounds.
Merritt Beeson leads her team with 11 through the first 2 sets. Rasky for Briggs Romine, kept alive. Edmonds still trying to get it, and they cannot. Paige Briggs Romine puts the Rise down a point. Briggs Romine. It's now 6 points for PBR. Love that nickname, by the way.
She had quite the game her last game against the Mojo. She led the team and hit over 400 with 17 kills. She's been a little bit quieter tonight, but I think it's picking up.
Just if you're not prepared for Paige Briggs Romine, she's going to find a way to take advantage in some aspects. She's so sound in all areas. Monserrat leaves it on a slide play for Lewis. Grand Rapids is there. They give it to Chimay, who gets it out of bounds. Tried to set up Nia Chimay, but sent it a little bit too long. 5-3, the Rise are down 2. Rasky looking for Briggs Romine. Blocked but sent right back. Rasky for PBR again. A fight at the net. And it looked like a double block that time. Marley Monserrat getting vertical. And her team has doubled up the Rise here in set 3. Edmond serves into the net. Service error. Big break for Grand Rapids. Chimay pops it over. Monserrat back sets for Lewis. Handled there by Snyder. Briggs Romine. Nothing there as Hentz was ready for it. Another chance. Beeson knocks it through. 7-4 Atlanta. And if you're Kathy George, what are you thinking right now?
They got to press over on this block. Right now the vibe is just pounding the ball into the block. If they could just adjust and really press over, you'll see a lot more blocks coming.
Lewis lines it over. Rasky wants Snyder at the 10-foot line. Atlanta was there for it. They give it to Edmond. Diving play by Snyder to keep it going. Chimay taps it, didn't get it in a great spot. Monserrat, slide play, back set. Diving play by Grand Rapids to keep it alive. Briggs Romine shoots it off the side of Atlanta. It stays with the vibe. Pia Timmer sends it back to Grand Rapids, and Ogilvie is there. Carly Snyder with a rocket, handled there by Beeson, and a point for Atlanta. That was a hard-fought point, and Atlanta emerges with number 8 here in set 3. Lewis comes back to Grand Rapids as Rasky fights for it. Tried one setter dump and tried it again. That one too long and out of bounds.
You know, we don't often see Rasky struggle offensively, but tonight she's not having it.
Liner over. Monserrat comes back. What can Grand Rapids do? Nothing with that. And all of a sudden, Atlanta is really heated up.
We got Cameron Turner coming into the game for Rasky.
We mentioned Rasky's offensive struggles here. We'll see what Turner can bring. She sets it for Ali Bastianelli, who gets the point. Turner in some ways feels like a lot of somewhat of the similar characteristics to Rasky. So you'd imagine that she fits in well with this offense. Briggs-Romine serves. Atlanta gets it with Monserrat. Timmer absolutely blasts it down. But they're similar, but how are they different?
Well, obviously, Turner's a little bit shorter. So there's that. And then they're both defensively sound setters. Their location is good. So right now she's looking for a little bit of a mix-up. You're seeing the Rise put more tips over the net than you would like. And that's what you like to see right there. That set was better for Nia Chimay. She's able to run into that ball and get a good swing on it.
Turner to Chimay for the point. Grand Rapids is down 11-6. Their biggest deficit tonight. They found it here in set 3. Lots of work to do. Ali Bastianelli hits it long. Goes back to Atlanta with a 6-point lead, 12-6 in the third. Pia Timmer. She's played well here tonight. Turner wants Briggs-Romine, hence slides down to get it. Fight at the net. Comes back to Atlanta. Monserrat for Edmond. Somehow Briggs-Romine got a piece of it. Carly Snyder got it blocked. Back to Grand Rapids. Turner hits it, but Atlanta comes over and into the net. Point for Grand Rapids.
So right there, if the setter is going to attack the ball, the libero cannot use her hands in front of the 10-foot line.
So check that. Point for Atlanta. Comes back to the Vibe. Snyder got it blocked for a moment, comes back to Atlanta. Gonna have you explain that one again in just a moment. Here's a point for Merritt Beeson as she's able to get it off the side of the defense for Grand Rapids. So what did we see there? Because initially the point was awarded to Grand Rapids.
So the libero is not allowed to set the ball with her hands in front of that 10-foot line. No foot can be in front of that. So as an offensive setter, if you see that pass off the libero came off her hands, you cannot jump and attack that ball.
So it looked as if Grand Rapids had themselves a point, but all of a sudden they find themselves trailing by a whole bunch. Their biggest deficit of the night, 14-6. Atlanta has expanded the lead. How've they done it?
Their hitting efficiency has skyrocketed through the roof. We talked about between sets 1 and 2, the blocking for the Grand Rapids Rise really came alive. And then going into set 3, Atlanta Vibe was hitting around 100. And that is not very good as a team in a whole. And right now, the leader of the pack for them, hitting above 300, is Pia Timmer. She's really made a difference for her team, and she's been back on the service line for, I believe, about 5 straight points right now.
And to your point, it's been Timmer, and it's not so much been Beeson or even Edmond tonight. They've had to find a way to get it done without that kind of efficiency that they're so used to having. Timmer's on the line for the Vibe. Turner has it, sets it up for Jensen. I don't think she was ready for that one. Hence, tees it up for Edmond, kept alive there after a block by Grand Rapids. Beeson got it blocked. Carly Snyder comes up with some defense for GR. 14-7, Grand Rapids has been in a hole pretty much this entire third set. Turner over Monserrat. Tees it up in the middle, and a big swing by McKenna Vicini. Down it goes, 15-7, and it's all Atlanta Vibe here in set 3. Comes over from Vicini. They look to Snyder, and it ends up into the net. Atlanta nearly recovered for that one, too. You know, we were talking about the effect that kind of comeback in set 2 can have. It also takes a lot out of you.
It does, because you're working so hard to fight for those last couple of points. You're putting all of your effort into it.
Right now, Grand Rapids just looking a little bit slow here in the third set. Rise have a chance. Alyssa Jensen, she finds the floor. Cameron Turner sets the middle, and Alyssa Jensen does the rest. 15-9. Grand Rapids spent that second set coming back from 4-point deficits, which they came back from 4 different times. Nearly an ace there for Snyder. Edmond has it, comes back to Atlanta. Tee it up to the middle. Snyder's there. Turner back sets for Chimay. Blocked but kept alive. Turner looking this time for Paige Briggs-Romine. Too strong. Point Atlanta. And the vibe of the first to 16 here in set 3. 16-9. But before we take a timeout, Grand Rapids is going to put a challenge on the table. What are we challenging?
We're challenging a touch on Paige Briggs-Romine's hit down the line.
Seeing if there was, in fact, a block touch. Paige Briggs-Romine has done a little bit of everything for Grand Rapids here tonight. 6 points for Paige Briggs-Romine. Also, 4 blocks for PBR tonight.
Yeah, that's not something so common for her as a shorter outside, but it is a focus because you don't want to be known as the short outside that everyone hits over, so she really, really focuses on her blocking when she's in the front row.
Last time Grand Rapids issued a challenge, it changed the entire trajectory of the set. That was when Grand Rapids was down 24-21. If you remember, initially Atlanta was awarded set 2, but it was a challenge for Grand Rapids that they inevitably won and then came back to win. Not often will you ever see the 25th point initially awarded to a team and then them not end up finishing by getting it at the end of the day. Grand Rapids now down 16-9, review pending. It's either going to be a 7-point deficit or it'll be 5, and it'll be 7 as the challenge is unsuccessful for the Grand Rapids Rise. No block touch that time. Now it brings us to a timeout. 16-9, Atlanta's up big here in set 3. You've got the Grand Rapids Rise right here on 96.1 The Game and on YouTube. Trails the Atlanta vibe. In set number 3, Dan Hasty, Katie Olson. Rise somehow, some way pulled out that second set, but Atlanta's playing angry here in the third.
They found their offensive answer in Pia Timmer, but can the Rise do the same thing? Can they find another offensive player other than Carly Snyder? She's leading the team right now in kills, but there's no one really near her for the Rise.
Wonder if we'll see Kaylee Nelson at some point. She's been a huge lift offensively when she's been out there. Merritt Beeson serves. Snyder to Turner, looking for Paige Briggs-Romine, and Hens is there in the back row. Edmond, partially blocked. Turner keeps it going. Ogilvie for Chimay, blocked right back to GR. Ogilvie for PBR. She hits it long. Another point for Atlanta. 17-9. All vibe here in set 3. Merritt Beeson again. Nearly aced it. Snyder dove to keep it alive. Right back to Atlanta. Edmond got it blocked, but Atlanta gets another chance. Put it into the middle, and Corey Lewis is there to do the rest. Ogilvie could not get to it, and now we see a substitution for the Grand Rapids Rise. Erica Pritchard makes her first appearance of the night. She comes in for Paige Briggs-Romine. What do you think Kathy George is looking for?
She's looking for an offensive answer right now. Maybe Erica Pritchard, standing a little bit taller, can go against Marley Matsure's block.
Beeson, service error, into the net, point Grand Rapids, makes it 18-10. We've seen some huge games for Erica Pritchard. And truth is, it's a bit of a surprise that we've played this deep into the third set and we've yet to see her until now. Serve into the net for Melissa Jensen, point to Atlanta. But we were talking about it during the intermission. Essentially, if Kathy George was going to make this move, she really kind of has to commit to it. Leah Edmonds' turn. Snyder dives to keep it alive. First chance for Pritchard. Hentz is there to keep it going. Monserrat on a reverse slide play, and Timmer puts it down. Not often do you see the slide play start near the first row. 20-10 Atlanta. Turner looking for Chimay, got it blocked. Corey Lewis, Pia Timmer, 21-10. The Vibe are running away with set number 3. Snyder goes down to get the serve. Pritchard gets the point for Grand Rapids. Monserrat and Lewis were there but couldn't get it down. We got another substitute for Grand Rapids. Marin Grope comes in for the first time tonight.
Something that Pritchard does so well is being able to use the hands of the blockers of the other team.
Nia Chimay to serve for the Rise. Monserrat, a little bit of congestion there on the Atlanta side. Turner gets it to Grote. Try to pop-up slide play, not there. Rise have it on the other side. Turner for Snyder, got it in a great spot, but Hentz was there. Edmond tees it up, puts it down. It's 22-11 Atlanta. McKenna Vicini's back. Morgan Hentz takes a seat. Corey Lewis to the line. Pritchard handles it, slide play for Grote, hits it and gets it off Atlanta for the point. If one thing Marin Grote can do, it's get that slide play. Haven't seen a whole lot of her the last couple of matches. Good to see Marin getting a chance here in the third set. Pritchard serves, and she aces. That's one way to get your team a lift offensively. For the Rise, just their second ace tonight. Erica Pritchard comes over. Monserrat looking for Timmer. Puts it through. 23-13, and now Atlanta's closing in on getting that lead back that they had after one. Marley Monserrat. Ogilvy, Turner for Snyder. Point, Grand Rapids. Carly Snyder has had herself a good night. They just need to find her a little help. Marin Grote's turn to serve for the Rise. They already pulled off one big comeback. See if they have another one in them. Turner for Snyder again. Another point. The hammer from Carly Snyder keeping her team alive in the third. Marin Grote once more. Nearly aced it. They're just lucky to get it back on the other side. Turner for Snyder again. Diving play, Monserrat. Edmond from 10 feet. Kept alive for a moment. Pritchard keeps it going. Great recovery by Grand Rapids. Beeson hits it and gets it off a diving Grote. Point Atlanta, and they've got set point here in the third. Is that one headed out of bounds?
You know, I think it might have been.
Marin Grote made that lunging play. Might have been better off to let it see where it fell. Timmer over. Turner, setter dump. Surprise, surprise. Point Grand Rapids. Cameron Turner. And she's taking a page out of the August Rasky playbook. 24-16. 8-point deficit for GR. Monserrat tees it up Down it goes. Merritt Beeson finishes the job, and Atlanta goes up 2-1. 25-16 your final in the third. Grand Rapids is going to have to dig deep and tie us up again when we come back. Fourth set on the other side, 2-1 in favor of Atlanta. You've got the Grand Rapids Rise on YouTube, and 96-1 the game.
It's been the greatest joy being able to be a part of this league. So any part that I can to build the game, help grow the game, it's a joy to be a part of.
I never saw something like this growing up, so it's really neat that we get to put this on, that the fans turned out and just show how much they love this sport.
I mean, it's huge. It's everything that we've all worked for so long. Continuing to uplift the game and have something for little girls to aspire to be and do. Pro volleyball is the thing right now, and this crowd showed us exactly that. So I'm so excited for the future.
We got it next. That's how you finesse. We come for they next.
Ready for set number 4 from Van Andel Arena. Dan Hasty, Katie Olson hanging out with you on this Thursday night. Do not forget, Grand Rapids is right back here on Saturday. It is a noon start. The Indy Ignite come to town. First time we'll ever see the Indy Ignite here in Grand Rapids. And obviously, Indy off to a nice start. Really, at the beginning of the season, they've fallen off a little bit, but what do we need to know about the Indy Ignite?
They've had a couple of different switches, but Lekator member Monet has been hot for them since they started. She went out with an injury right before that All-Star game, but she is making her way back. And also 2 huge names that came out of college. Elena Scott is playing the libero. She was able to take that over. And then Anna DeVore, she is also a great outside player. She wasn't able to play in the national championship due to hurting herself right before. So not the way that you want to end your collegiate career, and it put her out for about half of her professional career. So she's just now making a start.
Indy, so far, they've done some nice things in the first year of their existence. They're 8-7, just a half game in front of Atlanta and a full game in front of Grand Rapids. So just goes to show that there's a lot of things that could change before the end of this season. There are 2 teams that are barely ahead of the teams behind them for those final 2 postseason spots. We saw Grand Rapids swoop in and snag one of those top 4 spots towards the end of last season with some thrilling victories against San Diego. They had an outstanding performance at the end of set number 2 to keep themselves in this match, but they're going to have to dig deep here in set number 4. Marin Grote, Erica Pritchard, Naya Chimay, August Rasky, Alyssa Jensen, and Carly Snyder. The 6 for Grand Rapids to start the 4th set. Marin Grote sends it over, and we're back underway. They set up the middle, and McKenna Vicini makes it 1-0 as she gets it off the outstretched arms of Carly Snyder. Right back to Atlanta it goes. This is the 3rd meeting between these 2 teams. Both teams have won one of their matches. A fight as Rasky gets it to Alyssa Jensen, pounds it through. Kind of a change-up that time. Ties us up at 1. See Rasky to serve. She's back in the contest. Sets up far side and out of bounds off of Pritchard. Point Atlanta. So Kathy George going back to a couple of players. We see Rasky back on the floor. We also see Grand Rapids going with Erica Pritchard for this 4th set. Marin Grote also getting an opportunity. Pritchard keeps it alive. Rasky for Snyder. Got the point. Ties us up at 2. What are they hoping to get from Marin Grote in this 4th set?
Allie Bastianelli has missed a couple service errors in the back line, so really getting someone that can play a strong position from the service line.
Snyder serves over to Atlanta. Leah Edmond swings. Handled by Grand Rapids. Rasky quick to her middle, Jensen, but Atlanta was ready for it. Hence for Edmond. Down goes Snyder to keep it alive. Rasky for Pritchard. Point. Grand Rapids thanks to Erica Pritchard. Swings hard with that right arm, and the Rise have their first lead since the last point of set 2. Atlanta tries the setter dump. Snyder was there for it. They set up the middle. Jensen cannot knock it down. A pancake play by Hentz. Fight at the net. Kept alive. Back to Grand Rapids. Elena Ogilvie to Pritchard. Swings. It is somehow kept alive. My goodness. Atlanta playing an unbelievable defensive game on this sequence. Fight at the net. It is a point. Erica Pritchard puts an exclamation point on a hard-fought 4th point for Grand Rapids.
That was a lot of pancakes in one play.
Goodness. Atlanta reminding you what makes them so tough to play against. Carly Snyder once again. Into the net. Tough night for Carly Snyder at the service line. One of the best servers in the PVF has made 4 service errors tonight without the benefit of an ace. Leah Edmond on the other side. So Ogilvie, Rasky, back to Snyder. Atlanta tees it up for Timmer, gets the point. Ties us up at 4. Snyder's been so good in some areas, and yet she's probably going to be thinking about nothing except what the service line has done tonight. Edmond over. Rasky for Chimay, taps it over. Was not in a good spot to receive it. And a point for Atlanta. They set up Corey Lewis. 5-4 vibe. They've got 3 straight. Kayla Banworth has to be happy with what she's seen from her side the last couple of service rallies. Jensen, little change up just out of the reach of a diving Morgan Hens to tie us up at 5.
The Rise are struggling right now with their connections a little bit. You're seeing a lot more tips than usual. You're seeing Kathy George talks to Rasky about that.
Jensen flops it over, back to Atlanta. Timmer tips, blocked there, but not enough to keep it down. Timmer sends a rocket into the back row. Snyder was there. Chance for Pritchard, puts it down. 6-5, Grand Rapids. And Erica Pritchard's making her presence felt since she's come into this match.
Really using the hands of Marley Monterey up there. You see her leave her wrist high, which allows her to contact the ball at such a high point.
Pritchard now hitting 600 for a Grand Rapids team that as a team has hit below 200 altogether. Both teams actually sitting under 20 at the moment. Lewis unable to get it through. They set up the middle, and Marin Grote does the rest. Give some credit that time to August Rasky. Put it in the perfect spot, 7-5. Sometimes the points are just easy to get. When you get a good set like that, it makes your job a lot easier. There's a good set for Beeson. Merritt Beeson connects, and it's 7-6 GR. Back to Atlanta's serve, Corey Lewis. Lines it to Pritchard. Rasky, back set, Chimay, got it blocked, diving play, Ogilvie, outstanding reaction. Back to Atlanta it goes, Monserrat tees it up, it is blocked but kept alive, back to GR. Rasky tees it up, tries to find Marin Grote, not there. Big swing from Timmer, and she gets it down, just out of the reach of a diving Ogilvie to even us up at 7.
The coverage for the Vibe is absolutely holding them in the game and putting them ahead. You know when you're playing a team like the Rise who focus so much on blocking that you gotta be there to cover and make a play out of it.
Lewis over, quick fight at the net, goes back to Atlanta. Chance for them to take the lead. Timmer blocked and sent back by Chimay. Atlanta back sets from distance. Beeson got it knocked down, and it falls. Marin Grote helps the Grand Rapids Rise get back on top. 8-7 GR. That ball just kind of looked like a skipping stone through a pond. Finally sunk. Chimay gets it across. Atlanta looks for Timmer, and they've got her. Pia Timmer. She's had a night. We're tied at 8. She's hitting over 400. Give her 14 points tonight. Only Merritt Beeson has more. Marley Montserrat, one of the great setters in this league. Over for Snyder. Rasky gives it to Marin Grote. Diving play. Who else? Morgan Hentz. Leah Edmond with a chance. It is blocked. Rasky and Grote get up and get vertical. The Rise have the 9-8 lead. And Marin Grote has been a presence defensively. Nearly an ace for Grand Rapids. Timmer smacks it to the back line. Pritchard's there. They set it up for Grote. Didn't have it in the right spot. Hence, with time, kept alive by Grand Rapids. Ogilvy for Chimay into the net. Tried to attack from 10 feet. Just couldn't get it high enough. Tied up at 9. Rise need this 4th set to push us to a 5th and deciding. Pia Timmer's turn. Snyder's there. Rasky, slide play, Grote. Sent it right to Montserrat. Fight at the net, Beeson. Can't do anything with it. Back to Grand Rapids, Rasky gets it over. Now Grand Rapids with an opportunity. Erica Pritchard hammers it from distance. It's 10-9. And for a team that looked like it lacked a little energy in the 3rd, Erica Pritchard has been a shot in the arm for the Grand Rapids Rise. Marin Grote. Mishandled by Hentz. To the net it goes, Edmond. Gets it back. Grand Rapids thought maybe a net touch. Instead, Rasky shoots it over, and now a free ball comes back. Pritchard, Rasky wants Snyder. Change up. Fight at the net. Grand Rapids takes the point. Well, that just one looked a little discombobulated on both sides.
We're really keeping control of the contacts that they were making. We're still playing with the net at this point.
11-9 Grand Rapids in set 4. It's Marin Grote's turn. Over to Hentz, Montserrat. Wants Beeson, not there. Pritchard sends it a mile high. Snyder got it blocked. And again, just not exactly where they want it to be. Merritt Beeson gets a block and makes it 11-10 Grand Rapids.
The Rise have got to control their out-of-system sets, not putting them too tight, which puts them into a trap set.
Vicini's turn. Snyder, Rasky, back to Carly. And Atlanta was ready for it. Leah Edmond gets a turn. She swings and she ties us up at 11. Puts it in the back corner to even us up. McKenna Vicini once again. 2 straight points for Atlanta. Rasky wants Carly Snyder. Kept alive there. That was Timmer. Another chance for Grand Rapids as a free ball comes over. Carly Snyder puts it right into the chest of Timmer, able to save it. Rasky goes down on the other side. Ogilvy for Carly Snyder. Off the top of the tape, back to Atlanta. Free ball comes over, and Carly Snyder takes advantage. 12-11, GR on top. It just feels like kind of Grand Rapids is coming by some of their points kind of by coincidence in some of these cases. Oh, I guess Rasky serves. She was on the service line during the big set 2 rally. Ogilvy keeps it going, and a net touch. Jensen got a little bit too close to the tape. We're even at 12. Anna Dixon is back for Atlanta. Mia Tuaninga. Marley Monserrat, Merritt Beeson take a rest. Tuaninga, a rookie from USC. And with a name that Buddy the Elf would love to say. Over it comes. August Raske for Chimay. Got it blocked. That's Anna Dixon off the bench and puts her team up 1. Kaylee Nelson's back in for Nia Chimay. Now all of a sudden you look, and Grand Rapids has themselves with Pritchard, who's hitting 630, and Nelson, who's hit 800 on the floor. Raske for Snyder. Not there this time. On the other side, it's Dixon. Kept alive momentarily. Raske for Snyder. Puts it into the middle. Tuaninga goes down for it. Leah Edmond, big swing, and it is off Erica Pritchard. Point Atlanta. It just kind of feels like Grand Rapids just has themselves a little out of place. They kind of seem to catch some of these in the wrong spot. They kind of seem to put them in the wrong spot. Trying to work that out with still time in set 4. Another block. Leah Edmond rejects Alyssa Jensen. 4 straight for Atlanta, make it 15-12. Timeout, Grand Rapids. Kathy George trying to stop this run for Atlanta before it gets out of control. Can Grand Rapids answer back? We'll find out when we return. 15-12, Grand Rapids down 3 on YouTube, and 96 the game. Fourth set, 2-1 Atlanta. They lead set 4, 15-12. Dan Hasty, Katie Olson trying to see what Grand Rapids can find. They need a little offense down by 3. They've got some of their best offensive players on the floor, and they need points in a hurry. Mia Tuaninga to serve. August Raske has to run a mile for this. Carly Snyder hits it. It is handled by Atlanta. Pia Timmer's turn. Over to Grand Rapids. Raske's there for Erica Pritchard. Unable to get it down. Morgan Hentz wants Leah Edmond. It is blocked for now. Raske wants Nelson. Taps it down. Kaylee Nelson, what a night she's had off the bench for the Grand Rapids Rise.
Such a smart play by Kaylee Nelson. Knowing that Morgan Hentz is behind that tip, you can't push it too far because you know that Hentz can cover a lot of ground. Just out of reach of Leah Edmond for that kill.
Kaylee Nelson, 5 kills on 6 attempts. Now it's Carly Snyder. Nearly put it into the tape. Tuaninga for Edmond. Blocked! Kaylee Nelson out of nowhere. And the Rise are down by 1. Boy, what a game Kaylee Nelson's had. Quality over quantity tonight. Tuaninga fights at the net. Off Elena Ogilvy. Point Atlanta. They're the first to 16 in the 4th set. Grand Rapids trails at 16-14. They need to go on a run if they want to push this to set 5. You've got the Grand Rapids Rise on 96 the game and on YouTube. Rapids Rise have up their sleeves. They trail the Atlanta by 2, 16-14. We're in set 4. Atlanta leads it 2-1. As now we'll see if Grand Rapids can get themselves on a little run and not have to make everyone sweat like they did in that second set when they erased a 4-point deficit. Over it comes. Grand Rapids has a chance to be down just a point. Erica Pritchard puts it to the back line. Some confusion there on Atlanta's side. Comes over to GR. Erica Pritchard swings. Elena Ogilvy goes back to collect the loose ball. Nelson got it blocked. First time Nelson has been unsuccessful. Pia Timmer, 17-14 Atlanta. Now got to be careful of the bye pulling away if you're Grand Rapids. Edmond floats it. Rasky for Pritchard. Too strong. Out of bounds it goes, 18-14 Vibe.
That set was just a little too low for Erica Pritchard to really do what she wanted to do on that play.
Cameron Turner comes in, trying to give her team a different look offensively. Turner, one of the members of this draft class that Grand Rapids was able to put together. Really good contributions they've gotten from that class. Erica Pritchard swings and gets the point. Puts the Rise down by 3. And Pritchard's making up for lost time. She's got 7 points. 6 of them have come here in the 4th. Jensen serves, it goes long, out of bounds. That's a big miss at this juncture for Grand Rapids. Taylor heads back. McKenna Vicini as well. Taylor Head will serve. And a point that the Rise need to have. Snyder is there for it. Turner sets up the middle, but they were not ready for it. Somehow Atlanta able to regather themselves, but their shot goes into the net. Boy, that just looked disorganized on both sides, but fortunately for Grand Rapids, they get the point. 19-16, Grand Rapids is down 3. Kaylee Nelson at the service line. Haven't seen her at the service line a whole lot. Fight at the net. A swing by Vicini, cannot get it over. Point Grand Rapids, trying to keep their hopes alive. Back it goes to Nelson. Third-year pro, a Washington Husky. Little too low into the net. Now, Katie, all of a sudden those service errors that we saw early on starting to crop up once again.
It's all about the timing of them. That service error right there hurts a little bit more than it would have if it was 5-4.
Puts the Rise down 3, 20-17. Marley Monserrat serves for Atlanta to Snyder. Turner back sets on a slide play. Grote. It ends up off of our first referee. Young Park. It's not technically allowed to play it.
And you know, if he wasn't there, Morgan Hens was going to get that ball. You see her running for it, she would have had it.
You are absolutely right. 20-18, Atlanta looks to get that point back, and it's a little long. Point Grand Rapids, but Atlanta will challenge. Atlanta pretty convinced that this one got a piece of the Grand Rapids Rise. If not, the Rise will be down just 1. If so, goes back to a 3-point Atlanta lead, and at this juncture, the Rise need all the breaks they can get.
They found a little bit of an offensive answer with Pritchard and Nelson,
right,
but can they push through and be successful on defense moving forward?
It's a successful Atlanta challenge. They do find the block touch off of the right hand of Marin Grote. That's a tough break for GR, makes it 21-18 in favor of the Vibe. They've got the serve with Pia Timmer. Snyder goes down to get it. Setter down. Cameron Turner gets that point right back. If you're going to put the ball in that spot, you may as well let Turner see what she can do with it. Now, a substitution for Grand Rapids. Alyssa Jensen out And Raven Colvin, the first-round pick of the Rise, comes in. Interesting time to make a change like this.
I think we're looking for a strong blocking presence of.
Maringrote to serve for the Rise. Hence to the middle, blocked and kept alive there. Colvin may have got a piece of it. Pritchard taps it back to Atlanta. They've got the chance. Edmond swings, finds the floor. Leah Edmond puts the Vibe up 3, 22-19. Henson Bacchini out. Aiko Jones comes in to serve for Atlanta. Rise are desperate for this point. Comes over, Pritchard goes down to get it. Slide play, Colvin gets her first point tonight. Perfect time for it, the Rise are down by 2. And if nothing else, it's just a different look that Atlanta has to deal with when you put someone in like Colvin.
It's all about the matchups and who plays better against what other team.
It's a bold move for the head coach and Kathy George to put somebody in who hasn't played all night in a juncture like this, but pays off. Setting it up in the middle, point Atlanta. Corey Lewis makes it 23-20, and that margin for error is slim to none for the Grand Rapids Rise. They trail it 2-1. Now the Vibe are 1 point away from match point. Merritt Beeson. Over for Snyder. Turner right back to Carly. Swings and lands it. A gotta have it point falls for Grand Rapids, and a smile from their head coach, Kathy George. Not only that, but she's got Carly Snyder at the service line. Been a tough area for her tonight. But this time she gets it over. Slide play from distance, back to Grand Rapids. Turner for Nelson. Not there, back to the net. Grand Rapids with another chance, setting it up for Colvin. It is down! Raven Colvin, another big swing. It's a 1 point set in the fourth. Grand Rapids down by 1, 23-22. We'll keep it right here. Wait, it's like that scene in Austin Powers. The Rise like to live dangerously here tonight.
They're trying everything they can right now to stay in this game. They found a couple of offensive answers, and you know what? The more that I thought about it and the more that I watched the game go on, Ray Colvin has a very strong connection with Cameron Turner. Sometimes you just vibe a little bit better with a setter, and you saw that she was quick and got a kill off of Turner, so I think that's why she got put in.
I love playing the matchups, but I don't know if you expect to see a matchup play with the entire match hanging in the balance. But Kathy George clearly saw something, and it's paid off for her. She sends Colvin back out. It's a very big front line right now with Colvin, Pritchard, and Nelson up front. Snyder, over it comes. Big point to be had. Beeson, over, kept alive by Grand Rapids. They want Pritchard, it is blocked. Corey Lewis. It is match point here in Grand Rapids. The Rise, who erased a 4-point deficit in the second set, will have to find some magic here in the fourth. Pritchard got it blocked, kept alive. Turner for Nelson. Back to Atlanta, a chance to win it. Beeson puts it down, and the Atlanta Vibe are victorious in 4 sets tonight. Well, 3 of these 4 sets could have gone either way. Atlanta got the big points they needed when it mattered most. Our post-game show on the other side of this timeout. 25-22 Atlanta in the fourth. They win this one 3-1. Rise post-game comes up next right here on Rise Radio. 96-1 The Game and YouTube. 25-22 ends set 4 and ends this match with an Atlanta Vibe win. They came into Grand Rapids twice this season and picked up victories, but good news for GR is that one loss, based on how everybody is positioned in the postseason battle, is that Grand Rapids is really not going to be derailed by one loss here tonight. Dan Hasty, Katie Olson along with you, and KO. These sets really, other than one, could have gone either way tonight.
They could have, and you saw a lot of bench play from the Grand Rapids Rise really come in and make a complete difference, whereas the Vibe, you saw a player, Pia Timmer, really come alive, not one of those well-known per se, like Merritt Beeson or Leah Edmond. You saw Timmer really take control, hitting over 300 for their team. She just really took them to victory tonight.
That's our camera, by the way. Say hello to the good people. It's a 3-1 Atlanta Vibe win. And look, Atlanta, with the players and the firepower that they have, I mean, it's only a matter of time before this team starts to get hot. And, well, they're sort of doing it right now.
Yeah, you saw last year they came off of everyone was neck and neck, and then towards the end, they just went on fire. They won the league. I don't even know how many games they were ahead, but it was a massive difference at the end to put them in the #1 seed going into the Final Four last year.
So the Rise fall, they did get some contributions from some players along the way. Really got to hand it to a couple, Kaylee Nelson being one of them. She came off the bench and hit 44%. We saw a lot of change towards the end of this match. If anything, what do you think Kathy George is able to glean from the moves that she made throughout the course of this one?
So I've talked with her about this before. Everyone coming into this league is an All-American. They were the best player on their team. Now you're coming, and how are you going to be the All-American of All-Americans? It's very challenging. So now being able to dive deep into that lineup, Kaylee Nelson, the Marin Groach, you're not going to see the same team every night, and some people just match up better against other players on the other team. So really, it's not about who's doing the best, who's the best in practice, but who's the best for your team to win on any given night.
Rise missed their chance to get back to the 500 mark, so they're going to have to find a way to even up this weekend score with a victory over the Indy Ignite. Not going to be easy as well. Grand Rapids really hasn't seen Indy all that much. So when it comes to the Ignite, what do we know about Indy, and what's going to be the most important thing for Grand Rapids?
They've had a lot of switches recently. You had Anna DeBeer, who's a huge name coming out of college that was injured. Now she's playing. Same thing with Elena Scott. She now stepped into the libero role, and you brought Lecator Member Monet, who's been absolutely fantastic this year for the Indy Ignite. But I will say the one thing that could be differentiating between the two is that they're playing right now at Omaha going into 5 sets. They got to play a lot more volleyball than the Rise did to turn around and the Rise get to play at home. They got to go through a whole overnight travel to get here to play on Saturday at noon.
It feels like a lot of work. It feels like it's not easy. And Grand Rapids has been in that position as well. They just played San Diego here. Then they ended up going to the West Coast and picked up a victory. But Indy's going to have its work cut out for them. So will Grand Rapids. Again, all these teams are just so bunched in the middle of this Pro Volleyball Federation. Hooray parity. Right now you look at seed number 3, and it goes all the way down to the 6th team. It's going to be a fight for 2 spots. There are 4 teams that are competing for it. So look at some of the numbers of this contest. We mentioned Carly Snyder. She finished with 17. Alyssa Jensen had 12 in this contest. We'll say this, just 11 blocks for Grand Rapids, which it doesn't, it's still a decent showing in that department, but based on the standards that they've set, you kind of expect them to win that battle every single time out. Tonight, Atlanta actually outblocked them with 14.
Yeah, and that's not something that Atlanta is good at. They are not at the bottom, but second to last in blocks per set, so that's not something that their strong suit is, but any given night, what team comes out to play, their lineup versus Grand Rapids lineup tonight worked out great for them, and they were able to put together their 14 blocks.
So it's an opportunity for Grand Rapids to get back on the winning track, and if anything, maybe they can finally get rid of this whole losing streak, winning streak, losing streak, winning streak thing. As they lose tonight, their 3-match win streak is snapped, and now they're going to have to see if they can get themselves back on the right track. Now with a 7-9 record against an Indy team that is working on the Omaha Supernovas as we speak. So that's going to wrap things up. Don't forget, our next match comes our way on Saturday at noon. For those in the Grand Rapids area, if you're in the state of Michigan, you can get tickets at grrise.com. Just an unbelievable spectacle. It doesn't get as intense as we could possibly see than we saw in that second set here tonight. This place got loud here at Van Andel Arena. Would love to have you a part of it as well. grrise.com is the place to go. If you can't make it out, we'll be on the air at 11:45 a.m. with the start of Rise pregame. Then it's the Rise and the Ignite beginning at noon. So that'll wrap things up here from GR. Thanks to all the good people who make these broadcasts go. And a huge thanks to the good folks back in our studio, the good people at 96.1 The Game, Shelby Petrangeli on the ones and twos with us tonight. And also a huge assist from John Ilk. He is the Zen Master back in the studios in downtown GR. A big thanks to John for all his help as well from the studio and from remote locations throughout the course of this one here today. For my partner, Katie Olson, this is Dan Hasty reminding you of the final score here tonight from Grand Rapids and from Van Andel Arena. The Atlanta Vibe come to town and pick up their second 3-1 win over the Grand Rapids Rise here this season. We'll talk to you on Saturday at 11:45. Until then, so long, everybody.